Hi everyone, and welcome to UBOAT, another new game that I picked up over the Christmas period that I've seen a couple of YouTubers playing, and I thought right up my alley, so decided to jump in. This is a little more like the rest of the content on my channel compared to Potioncraft, as it's another sim. Just this case, it's a U-boat sim. So this is kind of a blend between Silent Hunter series and sort of a crew management game, all sort of mixed together, and that works great for me. Certainly can understand some people preferring it without sort of the crew management skilling up kind of side, but for me I really enjoy that kind of thing. I enjoy tycoon games, I enjoy RPGs, and so this seems to work really well for me. So we're going to start a new game. I've not really played much of this, I just played through the tutorials. I've got quite a few, so I've got some idea of what I'm doing. Gives you a nice choice of starting ships here, starting with the U-96, starting in January 41, going all the way through to U-1055 at really the closing days of the war. And of course things get harder as time progresses. I would just like to start with U-96 here. So we'll be starting on the 9th of January. We start with a Type 7C U-boat. And to begin with, at least, we're based in the port of La Rochelle. I don't know if we continue to be based there or we get moved around. We'll just have to see. This is nicely near the start of the war. France has just fallen. And so we're right in the happy times, where the Allies really weren't doing a good enough job escorting their convoys, and so the U-boats were very happy. So in terms of settings here, I put a lot of this on realistic. The difficulty, I've put everything on medium for now. By default, some of it starts off with hard, some of it starts off with easy. I just put everything on medium just to give a nice general baseline there. Including damage difficulty, which they say is potentially the most realistic out of the three options it gives, but they point out that every report they read is conflicting depending on who it's from and so on. So I'll just go with the middle ground there. I've got a lot of the sort of advanced systems enabled, so I like going into all the sort of nitty-gritty detail. I have turned off hardcore aiming mode. This means if this is enabled, you have to do the manual data entry for every single torpedo launch. With this turned off, I can still do that as much as I like, but I can also automate it, get one of the crew members to do this for me. And I'd quite like just having that option there, so if there's some easy boat that I'm just not really worried about, I can just get the crew to sort it out. Other settings that aren't sort of full realistic, I do have the detection hint enabled just so I can kind of get used to some things. Might start ignoring this later on. I've also disabled darker nights. Mostly that's a YouTube thing. YouTube really doesn't like dark at the best of times, and so this will just make it a bit easier for you lot to see. Also disabled the tutorial, I've already gone through it, so I don't think we need to for this. And so here's my skipper, this player character here. Gives you a few little options. Kind of reminds me of Tropico's level of detail of switching things around. Mostly just letting you create your character without any sort of sliders or anything. It's absolutely fine. And we are going to be Dr. Jeebus. So here we go, and here is our ship, U-96. So we've got different views as we zoom in. We get this cutaway view, I think it's called the section view. So we can see our ship quite nicely, all the different sections. And we can interact with the various actual components here. We'll be doing this as we go through. Got really quite a nice level of detail to it, quite like that. And of course, multiple levels in the U-boat. And we can also enter a first-person view. So here we are, as our character. Wander around the decks, looking around. And we can pop down into the hold, see what our ship is like. Nice little room here. The ship's looking pretty cool on the inside. Nice lot of detail. I don't think it's quite as pretty as, say, Silent Hunter 5, but it's got a lot there. A lot going for it. I think it's mostly the sort of effects and atmospherics, lighting that makes a Silent Hunter game look better, but this is still in early access, so it certainly improves as time goes on. I quite like that we at least have the option of wandering around like this. There is an option to play entirely in first-person mode, but I quite like the third-person mode for managing when things start to hit the fan, and I'll mostly be playing it in that mode. So, before I pick up any missions, I just want to make sure that our ship is fully loaded with what it needs. So we've got an alright amount of food, we could probably use some more. So we've got some preserved pork and canned beans. Let's pick up. Now we've got some potatoes for free. Definitely picking those up. And why not put some sausages on board? Now this does cut into our budget here, but we've got a limited budget, but the more we do, the more budget we get, so we've got sort of economic game going there. And want to make sure we've got full on torpedoes. And we've got different types of torpedoes here. So Torpedo 2 are the electric type, Torpedo 1 are the gas type, and they've got different pistols. Right now most of these are the Pistol 1 type, which doesn't always routinely detonate, though some of them are these slightly upgraded ones. I'm going to grab one of those. I prefer my missiles, and my torpedoes even, are a little more reliable, and so when they hit, they explode. Otherwise, that's looking good. And we do have space on the ship for a couple more crew. We've got a full capacity of officers there. We may as well take full crew as far as I can tell. So we've got these different crewmen. They have little bios that come with them. I honestly don't know if that really makes up any difference in the game, or if it's just a nice little bit of flavor text. But they do have like hidden personalities that can work out as you go on, with like hidden benefits. Don't know if it's got anything to do with these bios, but we'll see. Oh, a brawler. That sounds potentially hazardous, so let's stick him on board. And this guy, orphaned and homeless, let's give him a home. You can customize these. You can customize the individual crew members who are just kind of mostly background. You don't interact with them directly. You can also customize your officers. And certainly I think if I end up turning this into a series, I'll be naming officers after probably people in the Discord or anyone who posts below. For now though, since I'm not sure if I'm going to be continuing this as a series or if I'll just be playing it in my own time, we'll leave those for now. The crewmen or the officers do have their own individual skills depending on what they're good at doing, what they're not so good at doing. Now the goods don't arrive on the ship immediately. They have to be loaded. It's going to take about a day to load the ship. I'd like to get everything fully loaded before I get our first mission, so we can either sort of manually advance time. We've got this nice little button, it just skips time until everything is finished. So we go. It is now 3 PM on the 12th of January, and so I think it's time for us to get our first mission. That seems to be default text. We've not had any missions yet. So there's this tutorial menu if we want to. It gives really quite an extensive list. It's quite well done, really, to introduce everything. But I'm going to go straight for this. Are there any new orders? So here we go. On the screen we've got several different orders that we can take, and they're divided into these different campaign objectives that we can do. And so we've got this Black Pit campaign of sinking things in the central Mediterranean, the central Atlantic. We have a random patrol here that we could do near Spain towards the entrance of Gibraltar. We've got a very difficult campaign mission to attack Scarpa Flow. Also got this option here for Enigma recovery, trying to find a downed ship, and a very difficult mission to get through the passage of Gibraltar and into the Mediterranean. Now, I think I want to do something pretty standard for our first patrol, and so I'm going to pick this option here. So this will add towards this campaign here, where we need to sink 50,000 tons of shipping. But this individual mission that we have, we need to patrol for a total of 2,000 kilometers inside this route. Doesn't matter what patrol pattern we take, but of course we can do more if we find more things. We want to set up an efficient patrol pattern. This just gets completed once we've managed that 2,000 kilometers. We do get a nice foreground bonus with some extra reputation if we sink 4,000 tons of shipping. So that seems like a good initial mission. Kind of introduce the game there. So it's time for us to set sail, and we do so by setting the speed. On the tutorial it generally seems to advise using forward 3, so I will continue using that. And as soon as we start the engine, we start rolling. It's heading out nicely in the winter evening here. Look straight ahead, and of course we can hop out. Watch the dock go by. Again, it's not quite as pretty as the Silent Hunter games. Unfortunately, that is my main comparison here. It's the only other Submarine game that I've played is Silent Hunter 5. So yeah, not quite as pretty, but I think it looks pretty damn good, especially for an early access title. So very atmospheric, leaving port. But now we have to decide where we're going. So by default it automatically plots a course out of the port, but we don't just need to leave Bay of Biscay, we need to head all the way out into the middle of the Atlantic. And so we can just queue a new command. Holding down Shift will add the next waypoint to the end of the previous one. And so I can just click there, and we've got 3,000 kilometers to go. So 3,000 kilometers at 22 kilometers an hour. We're going to be here for a while. Thankfully, as you would kind of expect with this sort of game, we have speed options here, so we can just fast forward away. We can go to the map view, which gives us some more fast forwarding options. And as we get out of shallower water, we can access higher and higher time compression. As we go, our various officers are doing their own tasks. And so they seem to do a pretty good job just sort of managing themselves. This chap is mostly inspecting and maintaining torpedoes to lower the risk of a dud. This guy's spending his time on navigation. If you don't have any officers doing navigation, you can become lost, not know exactly where you are. This guy is mostly dealing with the engine. And this guy is on the radio, just in case anything comes in. And I'm actually just going to give engine guy a couple of assigned personnel. So a couple of people will always be giving him a hand, and that will lower our fuel usage and I think increase speed slightly. So now that we've reached the sector, we can send a report saying we've arrived, and now we need to set up our patrol pattern. Generally, we don't want to be going over the same area too much, but going north and south is recommended since the enemy ships are going east to west. This just gives us our best chance of finding someone. So by the time we make that patrol, we should find something. I'm also going to assign 2 officers full-time to the captain, since he is the one that's on the observation, and so that's going to give us better spotting ability. Radio right now is just giving us options for playing extra music, which improves crew morale, but our crew is absolutely fine. They're getting varied dishes, normal lighting, nothing's really going too wrong. They are getting a bit extra work from the officers, but that's not really too bad. It's being cancelled out by the dishes. Here we are, bumbling along. Just reducing our speed a little bit, so we're chewing through our fuel at a higher rate. So we completed the patrol without seeing anything, so we got to set course back. So just checking our fuel reserves there. We've got good fuel for 7,500 kilometers. Our total route back is 3,500. So quite a quiet little patrol, but let's head back and see what we got. So we've got a transmission from BDU. Excellent, so we've been given a new mission on the way. We have to sink the freighter Sveaborg at all costs, which is just near where we are. So immediately order us into a intercept course. We are running low on fuel, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. We are heading into the evening, so we may not have the best of luck. If we do miss them, we can go below the surface and try and get hydrophone readings. See, as we've got our visibility range rings around us now, and since it's night, these are closed right in. Just going to send the captain off to rest and send Klaus Hagnu here to the observation station. I'm going to give Hagnu the extra watchman. So we've got 7 to 15 ships in this convoy. Don't know if they're armed or not. Sink the Sveaborg somewhere in this convoy. Don't know how we're going to identify which one that particular ship is. So I'm close to where they are. We don't know exactly where they are, so I'm going to use the hydrophones. To use our hydrophone, we have to dive. So I'm going to go give the order to drop down to periscope depth. So now we're at periscope depth. We can send our radio operator to listen on the hydrophones, see what he can find. Now we've got our convoy spotted. It's going to come up to decks awash since we've got sight of the convoy. Actually, I might just come up all together. So we made contact with them again. I'm just going to go decks awash and try and get ahead of them if I can. Okay, I think we've just been spotted by Echo. Yep, they're coming to investigate. I'm going to do it. I think that's a destroyer heading straight for us. I think I've royally buggered this one up. So we're going to go to blue lighting, silent running. Hear the sounds of the enemy. Oh, they're dropping depth charges.
Direkt über uns, Herr Kaloi.
Whoa, that one was close. Okay, that one's more than close.
Wasserbomben!
Okay, so they've definitely passed over us for now. They're just angrily patrolling over our last known location.
Sonarwellen, Herr Kaloi.
That's not great. They have sonar. I think they're starting to lose interest. So their crew are getting stressed because of how long we've been down here. In fact, depth charge has been dropped on us. Can't really blame them. Gonna raise our depth a little bit. I think they think that we're gone. I think we're out of their visual range, so I'm gonna try and surface.
Erledigt.
And I'm gonna try and get ahead of them. So we repaired the minor damage we had. It wasn't really much. It's just the one of the periscopes and the gun, the anti-air gun, got damaged. We are going to need to run the compressor just for a bit, just to get our air back. With the diving and recovering has worn that down a bit. Just going to send our reports, trying to overtake the convoy again. So just marking on where I think they are. We should be right in their path this time. Which I know sounds like a terrible idea, but I think it's a good idea. Alright, going back down to periscope depth. And we are gonna wait for them. Alright, so I've spotted some of their ships. And I'm gonna try and engage them. So there is our ship that we're looking to identify. Two masts, I think that might be it, the Empire Bell. So chronometer tool to point it at the front. Start it. So I just have to wait for the ship to pass that point.
Rohr 1, bewässern! Rohr 2, bewässern!
Oh, did it pause? Okay. Angle on the bow. We are just a little in front of them. Ghost ship at the top. Really hard to see with the waves where they are. So that's ranging. So that should be everything ready. Now aim straight down them. There's a bit more dispersion on 50 meters. 36 kilometers. And I should be able to fire. I'm rather confused. I did all of that, but it doesn't seem to be working. Okay, I just needed to go to the other station. All data recorded. Velocity, course, distance.
Rohr 1 bewässern.
1 bewässert.
Ah, there we go. All tubes flooded and
Los!
fire. Tube 1 out. Don't know what's up with Tube 2. Oh, I don't have it selected.
Los!
Tube 2 fired. So yeah, 2 torpedoes launched there. Now this ship is flying a Swedish flag, so I think this is actually the one that we want. I think they're going to fall short, unfortunately. I think I took too long working out how to fire them. No, it's going to be close. Oh. Direct hit on torpedo number 1.
30 Sekunden.
Direct hit on torpedo 2. So actually this ship, this is the Dalaro, it's not the one I want.
Torpedo ausrichten.
So I'm going to start working on this ship. Watching they're all probably taking evasive maneuvers here. Uh-oh. That looks like it. Velocity. That. Set. Of course, I think there's about right. A little bit more in front of that distance. Set. Oh, back to set. Now down, they're still loading.
Rohr 3 bewässern. Rohr 4 bewässern.
Rohr 3 bewässert. Rohr 4 fertig.
2 tubes flooded.
Los!
Firing. Tube 1 out. Oh, tube 3 out, tube 4 out. And this one is the Sveborg that we just fired on. Again, I really don't know if we're going to hit. I'll just have to see. Getting ready to fire my rear torpedo up the Dalaro when I can.
40 Sekunden.
Here they
bis
come.
Torpedoeinschlag.
So it has been changing course and speed, but these are looking pretty good. Front one may go too far forward.
20 Sekunden.
2 hits. Very nice. That is one big fire.
Schwere Schäden am Rumpf.
And that's our target ship sunk. Flooding tube 5 for the Dalaro.
Rohr 5 bewässert.
Los!
Tube 5 is out. So
Torpedo
start targeting the Empire Whale.
Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag.
I think this one is an electric torpedo fire, so it's going to be tricky to spot it. It's looking good.
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag.
Nice hit. Stop fire. Now we've got all the data we need on the Empire Whale. So they've already recorded all of that for me.
Rohr 1 bewässern. Rohr 2 bewässern. Los!
40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag.
Los!
Yeah. Oh, I may not have missed actually. Oh, nice. One torpedo missed, but one hit nicely. That is a big fire.
Schäden am Rumpf.
Oh, looks like the Empire Whale is going down. It's launching lifeboats already. Yeah, that's going straight down. That's that must have been carrying ammunition or something. Right, one last ship then, the Delaro. Alright, torpedo 3 out on the damaged Delaro. So I'm going to the electric torpedoes so I can't see the trail. So this is the Delaro. Nicely heavily flooded.
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag.
So not able to move much, and that should finish her. Direct hit straight under the smokestack. I don't think she's going to be around for much longer. Yep, launching lifeboats, and she's going down. Gonna try and get to the surface. Yeah, I'm not going to stop to try and collect passengers. There are a whole load of very angry destroyers that will be coming in soon. Yes, since we are passing by some of the survivors, we may as well take a few on board. Captured the enemy captain, so hopefully headquarters will be happy with that. And it looks like we're pulling away before the enemy arrive, which is perfect. And we can send reports that we have sunk the Delaro, the Empire Whale, and the Speyburg, and the Silver Star. 10,000 there. That nice little run, that'll definitely get us some new torpedoes. Yep, so currently it says we've got 4.5 kilometers of fuel left. We've only got 1.5 kilometers to go. And we've got enemy aircraft. So we're just going to go down to periscope depth. Yeah, it's night now. Don't think the contrails are going to bother us. Yep, we're running very low on fuel. Getting warnings about that, but we're almost back. There we go. Lights of La Rochelle. So there we go. Back at port. Nice. Class Hagno receives Iron Cross second class. And almost to an Iron Cross first class, thanks to targeting all of those ships. Juvas gets the Iron Cross second class and first class, working his way towards gold. Oh, the German crossing gold. Nice. Silver Star sunk. Surveyborg sunk. Empire Whale and Delario. Very nice. That worked very well. We got all of the objections. We found and sunk the Speyburg. Sank well over the 4,000. The Speyburg would have been enough, or just not enough. Any of the other ships would have been enough for the tonnage. Sunk 4 of them, so well over that. There we go. 12th of January to the 27th. So 15 days at sea. Getting big 8 grand reward on top of the 33% reputation. Alright, so let's see what we get from the survivors that we picked up. So get a little bit for the crewmen, get quite a bit more for officers and the captain there. That was very much worth stopping by. We're almost at the next reputation point. Gonna need to stock up again. So we needed more spare parts after doing our repairs. Food is looking absolutely fine. Definitely need to fully refuel. And we need more torpedoes. And take everything that has the upgraded pistol. And it looks like all the electric ones are free, the others are paid for. I'm just going to load up on a mix of the two. It's going to take 3 days to load up. Just want to see if there are any upgrades we can get for the ship. So a lot of these are locked behind research at the headquarters. So you can like leave your officers behind to do research Yeah, so it doesn't look like anything that we can actually upgrade just now. It's fine, that means we've got a huge budget here. Don't have to worry about saving money. Yeah, so Dr. Jeebus leveled up, so I get to give him a new skill. Out of the skill, I think I'm going to put one in focus, so he acquires targets faster, or in manual mode the periscope is stabilized. I think that's very much worth it. He's mostly the observer. As Hagno has also leveled up. I'm going to give him this one, supporter, so he helps stop people getting stressed out, like when we're having 1,000 depth charges dropped on us. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this. I very much did. That patrol started off a little bit slow. I thought we weren't really going to get anything. But then we encountered that nice big convoy. We did a lot of work on that convoy. It was very fun dodging the destroyers in the first part, and very fun shooting the transports in the second part. Manual targeting seems fairly straightforward, really. Quite a bit of fun. And so yeah, I really like this game. Certainly going to be putting more time into it. If you'd like to see more of this, then do let me know. Like the video, comment down below, give me a shout in Discord. And if there's enough interest in this, I'll certainly consider turning this into an ongoing series. Certainly wouldn't mind going through this, naming some characters after you lovely viewers, and seeing where we get up to. But for now, I think that's going to be enough. So thank you all for watching. Remember, when you're playing, don't forget to have fun, and until next time, cheers.